Mel, and this is me, slightly overwhelmed, on the first day of my first ever bikepacking trip. And that's Louise. She was actually the one with the idea for this trip, and luckily knew a lot more about bikes than me. And that's Blanca, our third team member. She didn't know it yet, but within a week she would fall in love and ditch the bike, which would leave Louise and me as a team for this crazy adventure. Bikepacking across South America. Honestly, I had no idea what I was doing, nor did I know how to film things, so I hope you're not expecting a cinematic adventure drama. But if you made it this far, I guess you're into authentic things, so... Anyways, I had met Louise at work about 1 year before the journey, and she planted the idea of going on a longer bikepacking trip into my head. For years, I had dreamed about going on a big adventure, like where nothing's really planned out, and, well, we were both not really happy with our job, so... When my relationship at the time fell apart, I quit the job, moved out of my home, and suddenly I found myself packing for a bike adventure with no end date and no plan how this actually worked.
First night. This was the first day of cycling in Patagonia, and I'm actually quite exhausted. I can't really imagine going on the bike again tomorrow. But yeah, now that the wind is gone, everything's okay, but during the day the wind was just insane. It was just crazy.
These were the first days where I experienced the magic of bikepacking. Catching every sunrise and every sunset, really soaking in the surroundings and being more present in the moment.
Sometimes life is a bit tough. Being on the road is hard enough, actually, with all the camping and being outside and being exposed to wind and everything, and then sometimes you just get a hit after a hit, and then I got I got food poisoning now, and after I've been sick with the flu last week, and this definitely doesn't make it easier.
One thing I started to love about bikepacking right from the beginning is how fast you connect with other bikepackers. Just like with Annie and Andrew from New Zealand. They hosted us in their accommodations so we could recover from our food poisoning and then dragged us back on the road with them. And ahead of us was, to be fair, the craziest border crossing I have ever done. It involves 2 remote border stations, several ferries, 55 kilometers of sketchy forest trails up to the Chilean border. Only to arrive at a lake where you don't know if you have to wait 2 hours or 5 days until the next ferry comes.
We're over 30, okay?
Yeah.
We're over 30.
You guys will understand in a few years.
Down there.
Oh, hey, pal.
Hello there!
So it's a video.
That's a video, yeah.
And that was the beginning of the Carretera Austral, the one and also only road leading through this part of Chile and Patagonia. And it's safe to say that this road really tested me and my motivation, how much I really wanted to go through with this whole bikepacking thing. The initial excitement of having started this crazy adventure slowly turned into a new normal, a new routine. Eat, cycle, camp. Second day on Carretera Austral. It's windy and cold, but we're eating cake. So good. Blanca had decided to stay in El Trail 10, so now it was just Louise and me. We were faced with constant headwinds because we were cycling north, where the wind always came from. Also, we were scratching the edge of the season, and it was a lot colder and rainier than we had expected. The weather is pretty shit, but the view at least is amazing! Well, you'd be pretty surprised what you get excited about after having stared into a cloud for days. So, just. By now, most of my body had adapted to the constant cycling movement. My legs and arms weren't sore anymore, but I started having a constant pain point in one of my seat bones. And to be quite honest, I also started to feel lonely. In my mind I had pictured beautiful sunny camp spots where we would cook dinner with other fellow bike travelers we had met that day and throw in a little yoga session before going to sleep. But the truth is that you spend a lot of time with yourself, even when cycling in company. You're covering a lot of kilometers every day, which means that you're on your bike a lot. And screw scenic camp spots, honestly, you just take whatever camp spot is wind sheltered and dry. I'm in my tent now, and the problem is that everything is wet. Like, my socks are wet, my jacket is wet. I'm just trying to place it next to my jacket, for example, right next to my air mat, and just dry it overnight. I hope it'll dry, I don't know. Of course, there wasn't always rain. The few times the sun peeked through was wonderful and showed us the Patagonia we had pictured in our minds. Luisa, why are we so happy? It's sunny and not raining. And it's pavement! Wow! After weeks on washed out gravel roads, this really felt like heaven. And slowly I was starting to get used to this not knowing where you'd end up that day. We met other cyclists from time to time that also struggled with the harsh weather conditions. Sometimes we'd escape the rain on little campgrounds, or end up in a home of Chilean grandmas. And even though I was living the adventurous life on the road that I had longed for such a long time, I was close to giving up.
Rainy days don't seem so
I had to admit that bikepacking was so much harder than I thought, and I had so many doubts that I was actually doing the right thing. Was this really the adventure I had dreamed of? How would I even manage to keep cycling for such a long time? How could I cross a whole continent? I already had the feeling that we weren't moving fast enough, or that I wasn't moving fast enough. I felt rushed and I was doubting everything, up to the point where I had pretty much decided to quit once we got to the end of the Carretera Austral.
talk for hours and never slept. Two silhouettes on the concrete steps. We watched the sun as it slowed.
I had so much left to learn at that point. Back then, I was looking for instant fun, and I constantly thought, why am I doing this? This is so hard. If this is my big adventure, shouldn't I be having fun all the time? But bikepacking isn't instant fun. Bikepacking actually taught me so many things, and the first big lesson was to slow down. We have the volcano, Villarrica. Come on, here you go. Now you should see it.
Such a nice ride.
I think society pushes us so much to be productive, efficient, and having a plan for everything and following certain paths and steps. So, thinking about it now, it makes a lot of sense that I felt so insecure when plans changed all the time. That I felt rushed and pressured to make the best out of every day, almost as if I was trying to enjoy productively as well. So here, on the northern edge of Patagonia, I really started to slow down, mentally. And I stopped thinking about the big picture and focused more on what's happening today, how I really feel. And, to be fair, now that we left the rain behind us for good, everything was a lot more enjoyable. Lesson number 2, you will never leave the bad weather behind.
It's going round in circles in my head. What? How is this possible? Running through my mind. This feeling that I get when you're around has got me thinking about it all the time.
Oh yeah, and that's when we met Giacomo. Giacomo is, how do I describe that? One of the most chaotic, but also incredibly inspiring cyclists I've met on the road. We would meet him at different times on the trip across South America and always end up in super chaotic situations. But for now, we had an absolutely epic time here in the land of volcanoes, which would actually mark the end of our time in Patagonia.
Ich kann nicht mit links Zähne putzen.
And there we were, watching the sunset behind a volcano. And all of a sudden, this feeling of unlimited freedom just overwhelmed me. Possibilities seemed endless, and more than ever on this trip, I was so excited to see where the road would take us. Man, if I had known what was yet to come, I can't imagine what I would have missed if I had never left. Okay, but more of that in the next episode of Becoming a Bikepacker in South America. Nice!